Hi, and welcome again to the 90-Day Breakthrough Challenge. My name is Dr. Mogire. So today is day 45, halfway through the challenge, which means we have 45 more days to go. Everything we have been doing up to this point is building a foundation. And so today, I specifically wanted just for us to look at our daily routines and figure out how can you utilize your daily routine to create momentum. How do you create momentum out of your daily routine? I think sometimes we waste so much energy in the morning because we are making decisions that we shouldn't even be making at that time. I shouldn't be making any decisions about what to wear at 5 or 4:30 or 6 in the morning. That should be a decision that already has been made from the previous day. I shouldn't be worrying about what shoes I will wear, what shirt I will wear, or what blouse I'm going to wear. For me, working in the hospital, I shouldn't be worrying what lab coat I'm going to wear. Those are decisions that I should already have taken care of so that my morning is sacred. In one of the previous exercises we did before, we looked at when you project how much you want to be worth by the time you turn 65. How much in terms of the specific figure, how much money do you want to be worth? When you subdivide that money by the number of years that remain between now and 65, how much money must you be worth in every year? Then we calculated further, how much should you be worth every month? How much should you be worth every week? How much should you be worth every day? Then down to the number of productive hours you have, so that you come down to realizing how much your hour must be worth today, so that your hour must be worth that much in terms of the quality of work you get out of it, so that eventually this quality of work builds you up to a level where you can be paid the amount of money you deserve for you to accumulate the net worth you want at the very end. That's a long way of demonstrating how 1 hour today builds up to what you will be worth when you are 65. That is exactly the same as the time. The quality of the hours that you have in the morning will determine the rest of your day. And the success every day, one on top of another, one on top of another, eventually it determines the quality of your life. If we want to build momentum that helps us beat any obstacle, if we want to build momentum that helps us become unstoppable, it has to start with how we begin each day. How valuable are those hours of the morning to you? How much value do you get out of those hours? When you sit down, if you want to be worth 100 million or 50 million or 30 million at 65, what does that translate to right now? Is your hour worth $100? Is it worth $50? Is it worth $300? Is the way you are showing up in the morning in those first 3 hours of the day, does it reflect to you your commitment to bring to each of the hours the value that you expect to get out? Because the quality of the effort that I bring in, the quality of attention that I bring in, the quality of consistency I bring into every hour in the morning will eventually determine the quality of my life. The quality of my life 1 year from today, the quality of my life 5 years from today, the quality of my life at 65. Which is why it's so important for me to protect my momentum, for you to protect your momentum. Because here is the reality. We don't change our lives, we don't experience transformation out of the whim. It doesn't happen suddenly. For most people, transformation happens because of an external event. You lose a loved one, or you undergo a breakup, or you lose your job, or you're involved in an accident, or you survive a threatening disease. Something external that wakes you up happens. You lose everything. You lose your investments in business. You survive a fire. You survive an accident. Something external happens. That is one way. What is the other way that transformation happens? When we instigate an internal decision, an internal commitment. The beauty with doing it internally, deciding, drawing a line and saying, from this date onwards, my life will be different. The beauty with doing it like that is that you have the power to schedule it. You have the power to determine when it will start. You have the power to prepare for it so that you do not have to wait for an external change, because what if it doesn't come? Or what if that external event wipes you out? Because it can. An external event can show up right now and wipe me out, so that I am transformed, but I no longer have the energy. I no longer have the physical capability. I no longer have the intellectual power that I have right now to structure and think about and pursue and learn so that I can build the kind of life I want. Your momentum is your gold, but your momentum becomes a tool so that you can use the momentum you have built to schedule a transformation point, to schedule a time when you are going to switch in particular areas no matter what. You become like a train. You become like a train. You are headed from one city to another, and you decide that by the time I get to halfway through the journey, by the time I get to day 45 or day 60 or day 50, when I get to day 50, I am going to get rid of X, Y, and Z. I am going to engage myself in living in X, Y, and Z way. I am going to start pursuing X, Y, and Z. I'm going to commit myself irrevocably to living this way or acting this way or thinking this way, so that you schedule, instead of an external event finding you and causing your transformation, you schedule that transformation, and you schedule it between now and the end of this challenge, so that on that day your house is going to look different. No matter what, you're going to unclutter everywhere. You are going to unsubscribe yourself from everything that does not contribute to your main goal at this point. You create that momentum. You create the momentum so that the momentum, by the time you get there, you are ready. You are already at a high level of energy. How do you sustain your momentum? Number one, maintain very high awareness about where you are. Where are you in terms of your physical energy, emotional energy, relational interconnectedness, your commitment and discipline around time management, your commitment and dedication to your work, mission, and career, your continued commitment to your financial freedom, and your continued commitment to bringing the very, very best contribution that you can bring wherever you are, whichever area that you are focusing on. That's number one. Number two is to force yourself to show up no matter what, to show up regardless of how you feel, to show up whether or not it is convenient. This is going to always be an issue. You have a friend's wedding, right? You have a cousin's ratio. You have all these events that will keep coming and going. These events will come and go. They come and go. The question is, will this throw you off your momentum so that even if you don't make it for the challenge, does it also end up disrupting your whole day, where you don't do your reflection, you don't do your writing, you don't do your reading, you do not take action on your goals just because of these external events? Because unfortunately, the weekend for most of us is our weekends. The weekend, unfortunately, is one of the reasons why we break our momentum. We wake up at 4:30 for the boss, and we do that for year upon year upon year, but we don't do it for our own goals. That to me is regrettable. I'm expected to be at the hospital at 6:30. That is for my boss, right? That is external. I switched the waking time earlier. I switched it to 4:30, and now I'm doing it at 3:30, which means I have to go to bed earlier, which means I ended up going to bed during a time when I'm not very productive. Because I used to think I was a night owl, only to realize just that it was a habitual. I was a night owl, and yet at night I am not truly productive. I am not fresh. I am not at my peak. It was harder to switch to the morning, but right now you can't convince me any other way. Some of the ideas that occur to me in the morning are just, they blow my mind away. But that is happening because of momentum, that I am in a place where all sorts of disruption are going to come my way, but I will show up. I will show up. Sometimes I might show up slightly later than I intended, but I know that if that thing didn't happen, I will be here. I will show up. I will come through. Whether the library is closed, I will look for security to open it for me. Whether the parking lot is closed, I will look for security to open it for me, because I know my outcome to show up. It's that for me to put in the effort to show up. And if I keep showing up and doing what I need to do at this time, it's going to work for me. Here is my assignment to you today. My assignment to you is to get a physical calendar. Buy or find a physical calendar. And because we are at the end of the year, if you don't already have a calendar, you can print out 2 pages. Print out a page for November and print out a page for December. I have a physical calendar on my wall, and on that calendar, I put an X on each of those calendars. On each of those days on the calendar, I put an X every day as I show up. I put an X on it. You don't want to break the chain. This is too early for you to break the chain. You don't want to break the chain for any reason. If, for example, you are not able to show up and contribute, you could do what Brainy has done today. Log in and listen in, because you are building up the muscle of momentum. It takes a series of several days for you to create momentum. If you're trying to study a new software, if you're trying to create a habit of writing, if you are trying to develop your capacity as a learner, as the ability to learn on a consistent basis, if you are developing a new course, it is too early for you to break the chain. Your brain will always entertain, it values the things that you pay attention to. And if you go through the whole weekend and all you've done during that weekend is attend family functions and do everything else except what is truly of high value to you, that's what the brain is going to keep paying attention to. And from Friday to Monday is too long a break. And I've seen it happen during this challenge where people log out, they not disappear. I mean, it's life. They go on and get engaged in activities. They are not on the challenge from they were last year Friday. The next time you see them is Monday or Tuesday. That's too long a break. That's too long a break if you are truly pursuing high value goals. If you are pursuing high value goals, you will find ways to rejuvenate yourself. I always find the time to rejuvenate myself. I end up taking a nap. Most Sunday afternoons, I nap for 1 to 1.5 hours, sometime around 3 to 3:30 in the afternoon. Every Sunday in the afternoon or Saturday, depending on what my schedule says, I go out and get a massage. So I find other ways to rejuvenate so that I do not break the momentum that I need. I need momentum to write the books that I have scheduled writing. I need momentum to record the courses that I have already outlined, including the breakthrough experience from the House of Mastery. I need that momentum for me to keep showing up. Get a calendar. Fix that calendar where you see it every day. And every day you show up, you put an X there. Put an X on that calendar every day you show up. Build momentum to make sure that Thanksgiving or Christmas or New Year, whatever is coming, it doesn't stop your momentum, because this Christmas will come and go. But some of the momentum you will build, the discipline you will build, will be here with you. It will enable you to have a much higher quality Christmas in the coming years. You might end up generating so much revenue and so much freedom that who knows, you might not even be in Nairobi or in the city where you usually work. You might be in a vacation spot somewhere during the subsequent Christmas, just because you sustained that momentum through the 90 days best as you could. You sustained your consistency and discipline, and you monitored it. Get a calendar, put it on a wall where you see it for November, from tomorrow, day 15. Mark it, preferably with a red marker. Put an X there that I showed up today. Your challenge is to not break the chain. James, your challenge is to study every day for the hours you committed to study. Don't break the chain. Don't break the chain. If it requires you waking up an hour earlier or staying a little, finding time a little, Create a way to not break the chain, to show up every single day. Showing up is the first most important thing. And then number two, putting in the effort that you are committed to putting in. Sometimes you may alter the effort, but you're altering the effort after you've shown up. If you discount the whole day, it breaks your momentum. Don't break the chain of taking action on the important goals you have. Don't break the chain. Don't break it to the extent possible. Don't break it unless it's your a family member's funeral. Unless it's something, you will know when you can actually do that. And you see, what I'm sharing with you doesn't just apply to this challenge. This is going to apply to all your goals. Challenge yourself to get out of 2021 more value than you've ever gotten out of any other year. And this is how to do it. You do it this way, where you become a more important boss to yourself than any boss that has ever employed you. Because we give our bosses a lot, way more respect than we ever give to our own goals. I can't say that enough, and I can't express enough of how much that really concerns me. That we obey our bosses to a higher level than we value our own journey. This is not rehearsal. This is real. This is real for me. This is real for you. Today, this is it. Today, this is it. This day is gone. Tomorrow is coming. That day is coming and it's gone. Don't break the chain. Don't break the chain of writing your goals every day. I know, as you've kept writing your goals, I know that any day you skipped and you did not write your goals, when you came back, somehow something was different. Don't break the chain of writing your goals down every day. Take pen and paper and write them down. And don't write them the same way you wrote them yesterday. Your brain remembers what the goals are. Write them as they come today. As long as you try and get all of them out from yesterday, and then sometimes new goals come out. Have a place where you keep including those new goals. You don't have to do anything about them. You are just training your brain to generate so that the brain can keep generating. Some of the ideas that will come through from your brain would be fantastic, absolutely fantastic. Don't break the chain. Get a calendar, put it on the wall and mark it every day. Mark it, find a red marker and mark it, and mark it, mark it. The more you see those chains, those X's start accumulating, it will add to your momentum. It will prove to you that you are actually moving in the direction that you need to go. If you're learning typing, don't break the chain. Do it 15 minutes, 20 minutes every single day. You would rather do it for 10 minutes, but do it 10 minutes every day. An apple a day keeps the doctor away. That's a common cliche proverb. It's not 30 apples eaten at the end of the month to represent the whole month that keep the doctor away. And it's the same thing with our physical exercise, our emotional habits, our awareness, checking your awareness on a daily basis. Sit down and ask yourself, what do I feel in terms of energy today? I am at 3. Why am I at 3? What can I do right now to shift my energy immediately? And that should be a no-brainer kind of practice that you do, that you sit down when you realize that your energy is low. Energy is one of the quickest things that you can change. If you move, if you do deep breathing, if you just do 30 deep breaths, and then at the end of those 30 deep breaths, you breathe in deeply and hold it for 20 to 25 seconds, and then you breathe out slowly. If you change how your body is moving, your physiology, it will change how your body is working. Don't break the chain. By doing this practice now, it is the only way for you to assure yourself that when you cross into 2021, you will be ready to show up throughout the 365 days differently than you have ever shown up any other year. Because that's what we want to do. We want to make use of November and December in a way that we've never done any previous months. I am challenging myself to show up at a much higher level than I have ever done during any of the previous challenges I have done. The challenge I did in 2019, I called it Evolution 180. Evolution 180. In other words, I wanted to see how different my life can be at the end of the 180 days. And so my focus, my theme word for those 180 days was evolution, seeing how I can evolve how I think, evolving how I read, evolving how I manage my time, evolving how I prepare for the day. I discovered that the same way I cook meals for the whole week, like I would cook various kinds of stuff to eat the whole week, I could set up the 7 outfits that I would wear. I would pick 7 pairs of socks and straighten them and put them together and put them right there, so that for the next 1 week, when I wake up, there is no thinking to be done about these things, no mental decision. Wake up, stretch my hand, reach for my file, and read my vision, read my personal mission statement, and then get a pen, piece of paper, jot down my 10 goals, then step out of bed, pray, make the bed, step into the shower, out of the shower, open the closet. At the closet, the outfit I'll be wearing is the first one, the socks are right next there, the shoes are down, so such that if I pick bottom, middle, and top, I have everything that I need. So that in 20 minutes, I have gone through that routine in the morning, and I challenge myself to see how quickly I can go through this routine, because I'm not trying to, shine anything or to create anything impressive at that time. I'm just trying to show up in a way that proves to me that I am committed to keep this routine. I'm using this routine to keep my momentum, but it's also a celebration. It's a celebration that I am up. I am up at 3 and I'm ready for this day. I'm up at 3 because I have to be in the library to come and show up and have a discussion with you guys. That's how I ended up buying 3 jackets of the same thing. This jacket, which I use in the hospital, 3 t-shirts of this same kind, and then I printed the ones that usually the t-shirt usually see with I'm ready to change my story. Print 3 of each, so that they are all there. All I have to do, I know that I'll be picking one of these. So pick one of those, pick one of the trousers. For some trousers, I have like 5 trousers of exactly the same color. Some people who see me probably think I'm rewinding the same clothes. No, I'm just trying to simplify so that in the morning, I do not have to start thinking about this. Oh, do I need to iron this trouser? When I buy trousers, I try and buy trousers and shirts and t-shirts. I try and buy things that won't require me to iron them, so that it takes away those little decisions in the morning. If you have clothes that need ironing, prepare them in the evening. Use the evening. The evening is probably one of our least productive times, though some of us have been made to believe, I was meant to believe that I'm a night owl until I experienced what the morning has. Then I realized, no, that was a lie. This is where the gold lies. The amount of energy I find myself operating with, sometime when I used to, before I started this challenge, I used to wake up in the morning and record podcasts, which I've never released, but you just record like a 20 to 30-minute episode where I'm discussing the ideas I have around a certain area. My biggest repertoire of podcasts I've never released are all about healthcare, about personal health, because unfortunately for you and I, we live in a generation where most of us, what is going to affect our life, it's something related to our blood vessels. It's either going to be, might end up having difficulties walking because our blood vessels, our arteries are blocked, or our kidneys might fail because the blood vessels going to the kidneys are blocked, or we get a heart attack, or we get a stroke. And it is all based on the kind of diet we are living on and the kind of lifestyles we have. It's blood vessel diseases are what is going to change most of our lives negatively. When you hear of a heart attack, when you hear of a stroke, when you hear of an amputation, when you hear of kidney disease, think blood vessel. It's blood vessels that are killing all this. I've seen people that are too young to die. So I have a big repository of podcasts on health, on personal health. And that's because I was doing this so that I can really learn the the layman side of this content that I deal with as a professional in the hospital. Guys, don't break the chain. Get a calendar and put it on the wall and mark that calendar on every day. What is going to determine whether you have shown up? Number one, did you follow your morning routine? So in other words, you need to create your morning routine. Did you follow your morning routine? That's number one. Number two, did you implement your top 5 high value activities for the day? Did you follow your morning routine? Did you implement your top 5 high value activities? If you don't have your top 5 high value activities, put them down. My top 5 high value activities is every day I think, every day I write, every day I reflect, every day I ask questions, every day I create new content. Every day I read, I write, I think, I reflect, I ask questions, I create new content. Those are my top 5. Those are my top 5 for my personal quest. There are the top 5 for the hospital. For the hospital, every day I complete all the charts of the patients I see. Every day I ask myself questions about what I'm learning from each patient. Every day I create time to connect beyond doctor to patient, to connect with one of the patients, at least one of the patients I'm taking care of. So there is that side. But when it comes to my personal life, every day I think, every day I reflect, every day I write, every day I ask myself critical questions, every day I create new content. I create new content to get an idea and figure out how I could express this content. Maybe create a story, create a joke that is appropriate for illustrating that story, record a video, record an audio. Every day I create new content. So did you show up by following your morning routine? Did you implement your high value activity? Did you rate yourself? In other words, did you inculcate self-awareness by rating yourself on where you are on energy, in terms of emotional energy, physical energy, time, relationships, finances, contribution, all those 7 areas? If you do that every day, then mark it on the calendar. This day, the chain has not been broken. Let's do this until the end of the year. That's number one, that whole area. The final thing I wanted us to discuss is 28th of November. 28th of November is the end of the month. 30th will be on a Monday. I didn't want us to do it on a Monday. I wanted us to do it on 28th. We are scheduling a transformation point. We are scheduling a transformation point where from after 28th, between 28th until the end of the year, no matter what happens, you are going to show up at the highest level of energy every day, and you're going to do everything you can to do it. And so between now and 28th, we are preparing. And on 28th, you will have a contract to sign with yourself. You will have a contract to sign with yourself, and you have to implement this contract for the rest of the time. So that means all of December and 29th and 30th of November. You will sign a contract with yourself. The contract will have your vision, it will have your core values, it will have your personal mission statement. And we will complete the personal mission statement using what we had already covered and the speeches that you are writing that were coming from other people. So mark 28th, and your commitment, my commitment is that I am changing my life. I will change my life on November 28th. I am scheduling it in advance. I will change my life on November 28th. There are people whose opinion will drop off from my radar on November 28th. There are 2 beliefs that I have carried for a long time that I have timed for. I am like, it's okay, keep showing up, but November 28th, you will be locked out. I will drop that belief. I will drop it like it's hot. One of the things I usually do with beliefs is I write a belief that is limiting that I have, I write it and put it in an envelope, and then I write a date on it in terms of how much room I'm giving myself. So there are beliefs where I give myself 3 months of And it's been one of the easiest ways to kill a belief. So I would write the belief, put it in an envelope, and I have 3 months to act as if that belief was not true. So every time it comes into my mind, I'm like, all right, I know you exist, but for right now, I'm on vacation for the next 2 months. For the next 30 days, I'm on vacation from you. But you do it for a specific belief. You don't try to do it for 5 different beliefs. 28th November, it's transformation point. And we will figure out together. You will figure out and we will work together to figure out what commitments do you need so that you can implement those commitments. And one of those commitments is going to be what high value activities will you not go to bed before they are implemented from 28th. So start implementing them from today to create momentum. Start marking on your calendar to create momentum so that by November 28th, we are ready to launch. You are ready to launch, to live the final month of this year in such a way that no matter what happens 2021, you will be starting from a much higher place. You will be starting from a level of energy where you wake up in the morning and you say, oh, okay, yesterday in the evening I was bored. That's fine. That day is gone. Today, I am starting at this level. You set your own level of energy in the morning and you live by that level of energy. Get a calendar. Don't break the chain. Stick to your morning routine. Simplify your morning routine. Never ever iron clothes or brush shoes in the morning, please. Never. That is work for the evening. Prepare for tomorrow the evening before. In the morning, you wake up and you execute. Don't break the chain of writing your goals every day. Don't break the chain of performing your high value, top high 5 value activities, whatever they are. Figure them out for yourself. Mark your calendar for November 28th, 2020. It is going to be transformation point, and we will create the structure that will help us cross from November 28th into the next season of the year. I hope you picked something from this short sharing today, and thank you for being able to adjust despite the challenges we had. I think we will just have a very brief review. Brainy, I wouldn't mind seeing your reflection as a text. Let's just have a brief reflection, starting with James. Any key takeaways from today? James, I can't hear you yet. We can't hear you yet. Let's hear from Elena in the meantime as James checks what's up. Elena.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, my key takeaway from today is to list down my high value activities and just not break the momentum of what is going on. Before you joined on, that is exactly what you are sharing with the other guys online. And you just rang it home for us. So yeah, it really rang home.
Thank you, Elena. Rumbi?
Thank you so much, Doctor. It was very insightful, and especially the way that you shared your own personal experience. I think that was an area that I was struggling with, where we're learning all of this stuff, and then you're now thinking, okay, how can I implement the small things into my daily routine? So I'm loving the how I need to create a particular morning routine. I did not really have one. I was the one who was doing all the wrong stuff in the morning. So at least now I have a better appreciation that my mornings are sacred, and I'm loving it. Thank you so much. I appreciate.
Absolutely, Rumbi. Brainy.
Okay. Hold on. All right. Can you hear me loud and clear?
Yes, we can, Brainy.
Oh, okay. All right. Let me go ahead. I had stuff to do this morning, so I wasn't able to catch up. But my key takeaway today was, I think the thing I took from you was, having quality over quantity. Is picking up that time, setting the right tone for the day before you get up and execute your ideas on what are you going to do today. And the second thing was commitment, because if you're not committed to anything, then you're not going to achieve those goals. And the thing you talked about, that one was about the calendar. I think that was really amazing. And I think I'm going to just write a contract down with me. So I hope all of you are coming for my launching on 28th of November this month.
Yes.
And then I also wanted to maybe share with everyone about this. Something I've been practicing like in the morning, because sometimes, you wake up and there are just days where you just have low energy, like you don't know what to do, you feel lost. So things I've been doing, the first thing is like when I wake up, I'll write 3 things that I'm grateful for that day. And then the second thing, I'll write 3 things that are going to make my day great. And that thing I'll do is I'll write down what are now my top priority goals for that day. So like I have classes from 9 to 3 o'clock. So I'm just going to close that off. And then after 3, I'm going to write what am I going to do after that, whether it's within an hour or 2 hours, but I know I'm going to give it my best. And then when it comes to at night, I'm going to write the things I did best and award myself, and then write down things that I feel like I needed to work on. So yeah, that's just something that has, I feel like it has really helped me to keep going, keep going on that journey, so I don't get really sidetracked.
Yeah.
So that's all. Yeah.
Wow, I love it. I love it. You touched on something that is part of when I say I ask myself questions. I ask myself questions that touch on self-awareness, and that includes gratitude, includes insight, includes thinking about the people around me. What is it like being them? What is it be like being in their circumstances? So I really love what you've shared, Brainy, in terms of being proactively asking yourself questions, because gratitude is medicine. Gratitude is medicine. I can't put it any other way. It's more powerful than laughter. Thank you, Brainy. James, any chance you would
It's
be able
okay.
to share now?
Oh, yes, I am. I hope you can hear me now. I am able to share. And the main lesson I'm taking away from today is the value of showing up when you don't even feel like showing up. And there was advice that you gave yesterday on the question on the topic of typing speed, and you said that speed will hit you in the face as your accuracy improves. I don't know. I just interpreted that in a different way during this session, where I thought that how we show up will improve as we keep on showing up. Showing up better with more energy will come even as a result of continuously showing up, building that momentum, and not letting it go. And yeah, it's been a I don't know, it's been a powerful realization, supported with a lot of practical work and a system on which I can decide, and which I can know whether or not I showed up by maintaining awareness on those few topics: physical energy, emotional energy, and merely forcing myself to show up, rating myself on whether I followed my morning routine, whether I implemented my high value activities, whether I rated myself. And the question on getting a calendar, that is something I am actually going to do, like as soon as I leave here, as soon as the session is over, I am going to get myself a calendar, and I'll look forward to striking each and every day off as honestly as I can. I am really excited to do the work.
Wow.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, James. Ndungi.
Yeah. For me, today has been great. What I'm taking away from today is when you say how much do I value my own journey and progress and growth. I wanna balance it off with someone who I really follow a lot. Somebody like Jeff Bezos.
Mhm.
When you asked how much is my is my hour at what? I think mine for now. I have a goal of working for 8 hours, and for 8 hours, it's something strategic. I've pegged it $1,000. So when you break it down into an hour, it's 125. Yeah, this guy, the average wage salary that he pays a worker in Amazon is 28,765. His hour is worth 157 times more than that. So it really begs the question of value.
Yeah.
How much of value am I to be raking in a whooping $13 million an hour? Yeah. And for me, something that has been coming up even the past 2 days that I've been away is I've took it upon myself to always be learning, constantly evolving, and knowing that my topmost goal when I reach to 65, what I will measure myself with is have I taught my children early what I learned late? I think that for me, if I I can successfully say I accomplished that, then yeah, life is great. Yeah.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you very much, Njungi. Uh, it's the day I came to the realization of what 1 hour is worth to me, it's changed everything. So guys, I would encourage you, please have a figure. Please have a figure so that whenever I find myself, like, I usually get home and I need to catch up on WhatsApp because my family and friends they're all in Kenya, and that's I mean, my closest friends and my family are all in Kenya. So that anytime when I sit down and I end up spending like 30 minutes to an hour on WhatsApp, communicating, replying to messages, and I'm like, how many dollars, how many hundreds of dollars is that to me? And that's based on what I have valued each of my hours to be worth. So that I may not be able to earn that much right now, but the effort I'm putting in now, I know that a day is coming when somebody invites me to go speak to their company, and I'm like, this is how much I charge, and it is a take it or leave it, because I'm not desperate for you to come and speak to your company. I have enough other things to do. If you want me to come, this is how much you need to pay me to do, so that then I have the freedom to decide where can I go and speak for free, so that I am giving away, and I'm giving away knowing that this is how much I'm going to go do this. Brainy, Elena, James, Dungi, Rumbi, if you do what we are doing now until June 2021, between now until June 2021, you will outgrow everyone in your circle. I can't say it any other way. If you do what we are doing now, between now and June 2021, you will outgrow everyone in your circle. You will have the best attitude, you will portray the highest confidence. Eventually, you will start manifesting a level of inner confidence that comes off as humility, because you're no longer scared or threatened by what's happening in the environment. You know that you have what it takes to learn. You know what you have what it takes to adapt. You will outgrow by the end of the year, next year, you will have outgrown everyone in your circle. You're not outgrowing them so that you can show off to them. No, you are outgrowing them as a testament to what is happening in your life. Let's get ready for November 28th. We sign a contract, we test that contract until the end of the year, so that at the beginning of the year, you can now launch the real big contract for the year, so that you can make 2021 a shining example in your life that you will never ever forget. You will never even need to tell people what direction you are going in. They will start telling you what direction you are going in. Some friends will drop off your circle because they no longer can fit. They are too threatened to continue staying. And it's not because you don't want them, just that there is no room for them anymore. And you will find yourself beginning to drift to a higher level of opportunity. If we don't achieve anything at all next year, at least let's achieve 100% self-respect. 100% self-respect, where I am no longer, if there is no enemy inside, the enemy outside can do me no harm. If I learn to respect and love myself purely 100%, if I get there, if I stick to that journey until I'm truly healed, then nothing outside can hurt you. If we don't achieve any other goal, let's get healed 2021. Let's get healed from any internal guilt that results from us cutting ourselves short, sabotaging our own efforts, our own journey, our own growth. If we don't get anything else, let's end the year 2021 with a healthy self-esteem and self-respect, because we have not broken the chain. We've shown up in the important areas of our life, and we have truly proven that we can change life. Remember, we are preparing for 2021, but we are preparing by doing the best we can today. You can tell I am in. These are my mornings. These are my mornings. Just I am feeling passionate, really, really, really passionate today. Let's do this and let's make it count. That's it for me today. My name is Dr. Job Mogire from the House of Mastery, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow, day 46, as we prepare for November 28.